welcome to Nye Comics. And this is just a special stream, just working on my Joe Hero stuff. I'm on the last few bits of the page right now, so feel free to just chime in, tell me what you think, and get all that fun stuff ready. Um, let's get some. I want to get some music on. Ah. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Come say your highs and all that other fun stuff. I'm just kind of getting my trying to get my flow in. Dang it. There we go. Now time for the head. I'm usually doing a lot more freehand with these ones, just to kind of get my characters out there and ready. Alright, I think that. I don't know what you guys think, but I think I'm going to complete this page right now. So I think that covers up that page. Time for the next one. Let's see if I could actually find it. Actually, I'm kind of getting tired of music. If anyone's interested, I'm going to listen to some Ask Reddit right now. Since it's kind of quiet in here. Let's get my TV on. Adjust some of my windows. Oh,
Cuffs.
Well, Momo and I.
Wouldn't know.
You still call your dad daddy?
Hey, Kirishima.
Thanks so much for watching today's video. Before you click away though, let me share with you.
let's see.
You will not turn this around on me. I married a man, Hank, not a gamer.
Let's see. Let's see. What fun things I should do. Hmm. Ooh, an SCP animation.
Raid is a free-to-play action RPG for both PC and mobile. There are over 500 badass champions to collect and battle through dungeons and PvP. In the most recent update, they actually put me in the game. That's right, I have my very own champion, Saito. Saito is a legendary undead samurai who looks like a total badass. I mean, seriously, just look at this guy. This dude's armor is insane. I helped design the character as well as did all the facial and motion capture for the game. Along with Saito, a bunch of new champions were released, as well as the Artifact Forge and a new advanced questing system. I love the art style of this game, so I'm so honored to have my very own character fighting alongside so many incredible looking champions. But I'm legit addicted to this game that it's actually becoming a problem. I have Raid running on my PC at all times so I can grind dungeons for gear while I work.
Raid, now available for PC and Mac.
Are you an aspiring streamer and scared of music DMCA? Pipe Dream Hits has hours of music you can use in any of your streams or videos. Let's take a look. All you have to do is go to pipedreamhits.com. All our music is 100% free to use, no credit necessary.
Really? Now let's see. How true is that? No. Okay, do I have to go? Actually, it has some pretty big. Nah.
What should you do first to protect yourself from a dangerous anomalous object? The Foundation's instructions usually recommend that you determine the location of the object, then hide from it in a safe place. But in the case of SCP-4885, if you know where he is, it's impossible to protect yourself. The only chance of escape is to not find out the anomaly's location at all. Foundation management does everything it can to keep its top-level employees in the dark. Moreover, not a single living person knows about this at all. This information is available only to computer programs. For this very reason, I myself will never attempt to find this anomalous object either. A special automated system named Inviente Eum, which means find him in Latin, was developed to move and handle the object. The system activates if SCP-4885's location privacy conditions are violated. SCP-4885 is placed in one of 36 Class 17 chambers. Not a single person knows exactly which one he's in. No one has any information about the location of the chambers either. The main 36 chambers are connected to an automatic transport vehicle. For the system to be more effective, it should include a Class D employee with no mental health issues. In the event of a containment breach, this employee gets into an autopilot-equipped truck and connects to the system. Then, the cryptographically secure pseudo-random number generator selects a random number from 1 to 36, after which the truck goes to the chamber with the selected number. When the Class D employee is in the chamber, a message is displayed on all the monitors contained in each chamber simultaneously, indicating SCP-4885's current location.
Nope. Can't play.
This is retrieved by a GPS system implanted in the anomalous object. 2 hours after that, unmanned trucks bring the chambers to randomly selected sites. To avoid suspicion, the trucks are disguised as a packaging service. If an accident occurs during the process, the Inviente Eum procedure is repeated again. Honestly, it's not quite clear to me why a Class D employee is included in this scheme. I would assume that he serves as food for the object. The employee retrieves the information about the object's location and instantly becomes his victim. However, as far as I know, only employees with a level 5 security clearance can access the GPS data. In addition, the anomalous object most likely has no need for regular feeding, so the incorporation of people in this system is just an incomprehensible bureaucratic redundancy. But let's get to the description of the anomaly himself. SCP-4885 is a humanoid, the spitting image of the main character from the British illustrated children's book Where's Wally? Or as it's called in the US, Where's Waldo? In the pages of this book, you're tasked with finding Waldo among the many elements depicted in the illustrations. SCP-4885 has the same build as Waldo, and he wears a similar red and white striped hat and sweater. The only difference between the object and Waldo is his pale skin and lack of eyes. The principles of his activity in real life are similar to the rules of the game in the book too. The only difference is whoever finds Waldo in the illustrations wins, and death awaits the person who finds SCP-4885. As soon as the person becomes aware of the anomalous object's coordinates, the animated Waldo teleports inside the subject. The anomalous Waldo is flexible enough to move around in very tight spaces. Once inside the person, the object climbs up the esophagus and grabs the person's chin. Then SCP-4885 extends his own body through the person's body, destroying their internal organs and spine. Of course, the person dies from being manipulated like this. A yellow liquid flows out of the corpse's mouth, which eventually covers the entire body in illustrations from the Where's Waldo game. Only Waldo himself is not usually in these illustrations. The illustrations cannot be removed unless the skin itself is removed. These victims are then designated SCP-4885-1 objects. Waldo then leaves the person's body and remains in the area, or patrols the surrounding territory until a new victim notices him. In the event that the victim is in SCP-4885's immediate vicinity at the time of detection, then the anomaly acts slightly different. SCP-4885 approaches the person and enters their body directly through their mouth, then enters the abdominal cavity and exits through the pelvis. Meanwhile, Waldo is able to reconfigure his skeleton by dislocating.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Nye Comics channel. Today we're doing a comic starring Aerie and Isola as Dazzla.
No. All right, I can't play this music. Yeah.
If you're not grinding 24/7, you're lazy. What are wholesome things that are actually toxic? The martyr mom idea that you have to sacrifice 100% of your life for your kids. Parenting takes sacrifices, but I have seen some people act like they can't do anything for themselves anymore because they have children. For example, a woman I work with ended up with a half day at work while her kids were at school, so she had 3 to 4 hours of unexpected free time. I suggested she get a mani-pedi or something else fun for just her. She literally told me she could not do anything for herself because of the kids, not watch a movie or go for a walk despite having an extra half day of time. Lady, your kids are safely at school and this is fun time. It doesn't make you a better parent to neglect yourself, especially when it isn't even necessary. You don't have to be puke covered, unshowered, and unhappy to be a good parent. Love bombing is a big problem in today's romantic economy, especially since dating has become heavily influenced by online apps and phone communication. A lot of people don't even know this term exists and won't hesitate to accept this behavior, because they love the immediate and powerful attention they're getting, and the overbearing affection seems harmless. Yes, some people really do fall in love quickly, and each relationship goes by their own pace. But if you're uncomfortable with how fast things are moving, do not let them love bomb you into succumbing to whatever plan they have. Feelings, especially when romance is involved, take time. It's not easy. It's not all fun and games. Relationships take hard work. If it feels too good to be true, it probably is, and that's love bombing. There's a reason why it is a method used by almost any cult to generate new members. Self-help books. I spent the last 10+ years reading almost solely self-help books, and in the end, only therapy and medication did the trick. Every single one convinces you that you need to do more, be more, change more, and only then will you be happy, successful and a winner. But it's like a drug, you get to the point where you've fixed one thing, and then another new book comes out that everyone says is life-changing, so you read it, and the cycle continues. While we can all certainly do things to be better humans, your life should not be one fix after another. I lost years of my life worrying about all the things I wasn't, without ever considering what I already was. Body positivity, like Dove's Real Beauty campaign. The idea that all women are beautiful sounds nice on the surface, but it's a gross message to send because beauty is still at the core of it. I don't want to be told that my body is beautiful too. I want to be told that I don't have to be beautiful, that my value is not tied to how much other people enjoy looking at me. Body positivity failed because people started arguing for attractiveness and romantic prospects instead of respect and dignity. Nobody needs to find anybody attractive, everybody needs to find all physical flaws insignificant when judging a person's worth. But when I see someone morbidly obese trying to claim body positivity, I scratch my head. Self-acceptance of dying young because of what you're doing to you isn't beautiful or positive. If you want to balloon up to 400 pounds, that's fine. Just don't act like it's society's fault no one finds you attractive. Life coaching and long motivational rants about how others should and can change themselves into wonderful mothers, leaders, people, whatever from one day to the other. There's a very fine line between you can do anything, and, if your life isn't perfect, it's 100% your fault. And most motivational speakers cross it early and often. No excuse for people who deny responsibility for their own bad decisions. But this is a really bad thing to say to someone dealing with serious mental or physical health issues. Bad family, just entering adulthood from generational poverty, etc. Instagram influencers promoting their amazing healthy lifestyles but in reality mostly staged and photoshopped and exacerbating mental illness, body issues, anxiety in young people. I think this culture sets a precedent of being unsatisfied with a simple life. Not everyone needs to go to Hawaii and surf waves or hike up Mount Everest to be happy. And all while showing off bodies that are a result of a combination of great genetics, filters and starving yourself. In reality, they're addicts to their own narcissism, and no one should pay any attention to them. Social media helps making these vacuous, shallow people famous. It's amazing how much time I was wasting just scrolling through strangers' perfect lives. It was honestly starting to seem like everyone in their 20s had a family, a house, traveled all the time and didn't have to work. I realized how much I was comparing my life to others without even realizing it. And this has to stop, at least for me. Every so often I'll see a cute wildlife photo that is very obviously staged, probably to the stress of the animals in question. It's absolutely messed up, but because people keep sharing them on social media, some a-holes out there will keep on essentially torturing animals just so we can go ah. Also pet videos on social media. I used to have guinea pigs and people would tag me and send me cute videos all the time of guinea pigs that enraged me. There was a big one going around for a while of a guinea pig being put in a pool and swimming around with people commenting things like I didn't know they could swim. I would get mad and reply with things like, yes, a guinea pig will swim if you put it in water because they're trying not to drown. They're not having fun, it's not cute, they're suffering. And people would reply, relax, it's just a video. Yeah, a video with dangerous influence. Cheap virtue signaling. I'm talking t-shirts, decorating your profile pic, social media stunts, looking at you, ice bucket challenge, shaving your head, corporate/public PR stunts, like light it up blue. Not one of these stunts does anything to further whatever cause they claim to
Oh,
support.
come on.
They don't ask much of the average person or business either. You can wear a rainbow and still be a homophobe. You can wear a pink ribbon or shave your head without supporting or serving a loved one with breast cancer. As an autistic individual, light it up blue angers me to no end. It doesn't demand acceptance of autistic traits. You can wear a pink t-shirt and still be a bully. If you're truly dedicated to a cause, walk the walk. Donate money to a reputable cause. Donate food and money to a food bank. Ask a cancer patient what they need and step up. Unlearn stereotype and prejudice, then challenge it in the moment as it happens. Yes, it's boring, but it's actually helpful.
Okay. I don't know why people really hate the lighted up blue thing. I basically use it just
Did
to
you know
help
that
me.
the average adult has 5 to 20 pounds of
Oh,
toxic
shut
poop?
up. Yeah, every time I hear people saying negative things about Autorun or like the lighted up blue thing, it seems to kind of bug me the most. People will have like a negative connotation of it. I mean, I still donate to Autism Speak and everything else about that. I mean, my promotion right now is all because of Autism Blue. Lighted up blue. It basically helps me let people know that give me an idea that people care about people who have my symptoms and disabilities as well. But I don't know if people don't like it or just like don't want to be aware, don't like to have it as aware. I mean, I'm trying to use. I mean, basically, most of my story is focusing on like having the influence to show that people with autism can be who they want to be. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it kind of upsets me that people will find a negativity on those type of things. Oh well.
In their body at any given moment.
Corporations who spend $50 million on ads to tell you about the amazing $1 million they spent on a charity program. They already had an advertising budget. They were probably already going to buy that billboard, commercial.
Yeah, this was already depressing anyway. Actually, let's see if I could find one of the videos that I was looking at. Hmm.
It's just create a pleasant experience for someone.
Are there any stereotypes associated with ASMR?
Yes, I think people think that there's maybe like a arousal component related to it.
There are over 300 ASMR videos uploaded an hour to YouTube, but those are just small percentage of the amount of triggers that are out there.
So today we're gonna be listening to 3 different performances to figure out who's who. Are you ready for our first performance?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, here we go.
So the first thing that we are going to do that I like to start out with is mind and body connection. A tad bit of mindfulness, so being aware of mind and body sensations, thoughts, tension. We tend to carry a lot of tension in our face. So being able to just relax the brow bones, whether you're scrunching your forehead, your nose, whether you're making a fist with your hands, just being able to be present and aware. Sometimes that's hard to do. So the first trigger that is quite popular that I think I'm going to use is mic brushing. So it's as simple as brushing the mic. Some people enjoy it, others don't. Left side, I don't know how that sounds too well. We can actually grab a hairbrush. If you remember in childhood, whenever a friend would play with your hair, your mom would do your hair in the morning, it was a very soothing thing, or maybe it wasn't, maybe it was too much of a hassle. Sometimes people like to add in trigger words or words that are just relaxing. Some people like the word milk, relax, sleep, or even a phrase if it's okay after a long hard day, knowing that it's good. Now this one a lot of people enjoy. Snip, like getting in your gut. One of the last things that people will do is pop rocks. My hands are shaky, so I don't know if I can get any. Let's see.
Actually, I wonder if there's a funny ASMR.
Some people enjoy it. Okay, I'm gonna try to make hair sounds. I'm gonna put this behind me and on top of my head and move.太大了，太大了！看看，比我的胳膊还粗。好家伙！呀，烫个最大的象拔蚌。哎呀！停！
You're a liar. Your judgment is not more important than their right. Someday I think you and I are going to have a serious disagreement.
This place. So many memories. I remember the time you switched the heads of the gods of the Temple of Ra.
If I recall correctly.
I forgot how great this animation is.
I shall not give you straw to make brick. Let them gather straw for themselves. But the tally of brick must not lessen. Go now. And work.
Let's assume for a second I was what you said I was. I give my people a good show. Plenty of music. Worthwhile sentiments. And most of them go home with a little hope in their lives that wasn't there before.
We're so used to it, we hardly smell it anymore. Won't you come in? Make yourself comfortable. Have a seat.
Well, it's, Look, I have to explain. Come on. What if, go with me on this, what if he's telling the truth?
Oh, great! You're in a lot of trouble, mister.
Responsible. Do you know the meaning of that word, Ramesses?
Hey. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Aaron.
We're doing the Power Hour.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 10-minute Power Hour.
Welcome.
It's good to see you.
My name's Aaron.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Farron.
Height 451. What do you think?
Wow. Now that's something.
Thanks. I like to type. I could type a whole world of stories.
Like what? What are we going to do today, Dan?
That is exactly what I was going to ask you because I have no idea.
What, really?
Yeah, zero.
But you do a little bit.
A little bit.
Uh-huh.
It has something to do with the ear stuff.
It's
that.
I didn't want to smash it on the table because it's expensive.
It does look expensive. What is this thing?
It's a pair of ears on a tripod. It's an ASMR mic.
What? How does this work?
ASMR. There's 2 mics in here, one for each ear, and then you can. Is it on?
It's not on right now.
We're gonna do. This is a microphone, 2 microphones, good for the small volume. Listen to this.
Can the folks at home hear what Ross is hearing?
We haven't even introduced Ross yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I mean, yeah, because
we've got a guest with us today. It's Ross O'Donovan.
It's our friend Ross.
How's it going, guys?
I can't believe we got him.
I know. I've been in a closet working on a cartoon for like 2 years.
We had to move around some schedules.
Yeah.
We had to kill a couple people, but we got him.
Weeks of red tape and management, but here he is, Ross O'Donovan.
We only have him for like 30 minutes, so we gotta make this snappy.
That's true.
Ross is very prone to asthmasers.
Is that right? I get it too.
So he's got a direct feed of our.
There are some people who don't get this reaction, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah. For people, in layman's terms, it's that weird tingly feeling you get from certain frequencies of sound. Some people don't get it. I definitely do. I used to feel this when I would watch Bob Ross paint before like it had a name. So I love this stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, how does this sound, Ross? You like that shit? You like that shit?
This like got way too sexy
It's
like,
not sexual.
right off the bat.
It's not sexual.
You fucking like that shit,
That sounds sexual. The thing people like to do on ASMR videos on YouTube is that they role play. So they kind of take someone through an experience, but they whisper the whole time to give the chilly chills. Aaron?
Huh?
You want to test it out a little bit?
Oh, I was role playing.
A guy creepily standing next to your ear, breathing.
Hello, Ross.
Ew.
I'm role playing a guy with a really wet mouth. There's too much liquid in my mouth. I can't help it. Can't help but slosh it around.
I'm feeling very gassy today.
Wow, that was that's really good. Is that doing anything for you, Ross?
Yes, great. Yeah, okay, super. Here, try this. Ooh, we've got Q-tips.
Ooh, yeah, we gotta clean those ears.
Okay, yeah, don't they do this in like certain, like a lot of ASMR videos will have like a spa treatment kind of thing, kind of role play. So they're like, oh, just clean your ears.
Like that. You fucking like your ears getting cleaned.
Why is it gotta be so fucking sexual? Just clean his ears, man.
There's so much bacteria in here. Naughty bacteria. Fuck. Just get out of here.
I'm gonna lightly dust it with a feather.
Ooh.
Is this doing anything, Ross?
Dan's a lot better than Aaron.
Really?
Yeah.
I can fucking activate your asthma.
I'm gonna make you fucking asthma so goddamn hard.
How's about this, Ross? Take this shit for exercise. You're drifting away off into a gentle sleep. Nobody, that wasn't me, by the way. That was Dan. So technically right now I'm better than Dan is at creating the asthma response. Imagine.
Aaron, could you please take this seriously?
That wasn't me, that was Dan again. That was also Dan.
No.
It was totally Dan. It wasn't. I would never fart in your ear,
Okay.
That is a complete and utter lie. No, it's not. It's not at all what happened. Oh, gross! My fucking face made contact with the ear thing. You're taking a journey into a hair salon. You're opening
Okay,
the
I
door
can't
and
focus.
you're inside.
I can't focus.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hey, I'm Gruff. I'm not so Gruff. And we're
Pyro Bob asks, boxers or briefs? Commando, my dude.
Pardon me. Yeah, let's do a TED Talk. Oh, I can't do it on here. Let's go to Spotify.
Life. How beautiful it is. How amazing it is to be shine on your face rather than on your grave. What makes life so unique and so beautiful? It is beautiful because whatever you have that you may be facing, what you may be dealing with, life is still good. Life has so many moving parts, but life is always good. Every day is a new day and another opportunity that others may not have. This life that you have been given, this life that you are temporarily holding on to, this life that has been just given to you for only temporary reasons, has more meaning than you can ever imagine. So many people in the world take life for granted instead of realizing that you have to take the opportunity to live it the best way you know how. Now, on this journey of life, you're going to face a significant amount of circumstances, a significant amount of challenges. You're going to fall into areas that you cannot understand. And maybe it's not in a position for you to understand at that moment. When you start to feel that you are in a position that you don't love your life, then shame on you. Because your life is a beautiful thing. And no one deserves to ruin it. No one deserves to control it. No one deserves to steal your joy. Your life is your life, and you have the right to live it the best way you can. You must discipline yourself and take full control and responsibility for the outcome or whatever it is that you are seeking at this moment. There are going to be so many different things that you will embark on. There are going to be so many different things that's going to try to slow you down. There are going to be so many different challenges that you must face. But instead of running away from the challenge, run towards the challenge. Be able to understand that life has meaning. It has reason. And all of these things that you may be thinking that is so hard on you, just remember, sometimes you're going to have to go through these changes, these circumstances that puts you in a position to make you feel that you're not worthy anymore. But make no mistake, you are worthy. You were created for something. You wasn't created for nothing. Life has a gift of giving, a gift of receiving. And whether if it's good or bad, you got to make sure you understand that these circumstances and these challenges has to happen in your life. You will come to a point that you may feel that you are in a hopeless situation. You may come to a point in your life where you're at the end of a rope and the only thing left to do is to climb up, because you only can do so much for so long. But make sure you're doing much more instead of doing less. Stop stressing about the things that you cannot control and start focusing on the things that you have control of. Take control of your life. Take control of the opportunities. Believe in yourself and know that it is not over for you. So many people out there in this world right now will try to tell you not to be something that you feel in your heart that you want to be. So many people out there right now are miserable, and they'll try their best to take you with them. Do not let misery control the life that you have. Do not let anyone tell you how to live. Do not let anyone validate your purpose. Do not let anyone validate your destiny. Someone told you a long time ago that you wasn't worthy. Someone looked you in the eye and said you wasn't gonna make it. I say to you right now that you will make it. I say to you right now that you must make it. I say to you right now that you must tell excuses, fear, and doubt that it has no place in your place of business. For this is your life that you are fighting for. This is your life that you are living for. And make no mistake, no one is gonna do you better than you. Don't wait for something to happen. You make it happen. You make it happen for a reason. And take full responsibility and control of this thing we call life.
I like those. I'm gonna keep that.
Life. How beautiful it is. How amazing.
So you're telling me little Paula saw the finale and she was like, oh, Jen
Nope.
is definitely alive.
I don't know if little Paula remembered Jen, honestly. I remember seeing that final battle and being like, whoa, that looked really cool, man. He made like a ball with all the elements, and like he made like it was like a planet. It was like with things orbiting around it. It was pretty dope.
What's up, everyone? This is our first episode of our Draw Me a Story podcast. We'll be analyzing and talking about a whole bunch of animation.
And lo, the gods looked down and they said, hey, buddy, how are your crops doing? You want to sacrifice a pig or something? What are you thinking? Maybe you can make the crops go that way. That would be pretty cool. And that's one of the many things we'll be talking about on this episode of American Godcast. I'm Alex.
Bow down before corn, great corn, the syrup, the popped corn. I'm Justin.
Electrolytes is what crops crave. Ah. No, you messed that up very badly. I messed it up really bad. Rondo is what crops crave, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, but then it's the electrolytes. Oh, yeah. You know. Okay. Yeah. Great ref. And here's some more great refs for you. We're going to be talking about American Gods, Ashes, and Demons, the third episode of season 3.
of this brand new season. We're just getting into it.
Actually, you
We're
know
in
what?
the
Let's do
first half
comic
here,
pad.
so still lots of setup going on, but lots of things do go down in the episode. Regular reminder, we're not going to be talking about every plot point, so watch the episode first, then come back here. We're going to talk about stuff right in the episode. But here's the broad strokes. The big thing about this episode is that we meet Demeter, a new goddess who is being courted by Mr. Wednesday. Seems they had a relationship back in the day. As usual, it went sour. He goes to visit her at a, what would you call it, convalescent home? Not exactly an insane asylum, but it's something like that.
Know the
I think
difference.
it's an old folks home.
Old folks home. Know, Alex, know the difference between those two things before you end up in one.
Oh, shit. I put my parents in an insane asylum. Was that wrong?
That's wrong. That's
We're
the wrong.
just kindly old Zalbins. Why are we in straitjackets?
So anyway, he visits her there, manages to kind of woo her back, as Mr. Wednesday is wont to do. Meanwhile, Shadow Moon is over in Lakeside investigating what's gone on with Allison. We get a couple more clues in that mystery, but he gets a little bit of distracted both by his landlord, who he seems to be striking up a little bit of a relationship with, and also we start to see visions that draw him towards Bilquis. Bilquis, as we talked about in previous episodes, has some bad stuff going down once she unbirthed some sort of tech guy. We don't find too much more about this episode, but something terrible has gone down into her apartment, and by the end of the episode, she is missing. Technical Boy is in her apartment. It's covered in blood, completely wrecked, so something terrible has happened there. Again, that's very, very broad strokes. The other thing that you probably want to know about that I'm sure we'll want to start off with, or at least I'm sure Pete will want to start off with, is finally see Laura Moon again as she goes down to the underworld or the afterlife, or I'm sure we can talk about exactly what's going on there. And she has a little bit of a "this is your life" moment as she finds out her memories of everything that went wrong in her life, specifically with her dad, are not actually her fault. Yes, Pete.
I'm really pissed. I thought the Dick Lady's fucking storyline was done. I'm very upset that we're continuing with her.
You mean Laura Moon?
I forgot. You don't like Laura Moon.
Yes. Oh. Alex, I can't believe you threw that to Pete
refuse to
first.
call her that. Dick Lady is awful, and I don't want her.
Did not do that.
Don't call her.
Like, Pete, I don't want to call you out right on the podcast, but I don't think you've ever called her that on the podcast before.
I have not.
That is skimming the surface of slut shaming, if not like diving right deep in. So,
Whoa! I'm not trying to slut shame anybody. No way.
You were
I think what
defining
he's
her by
saying
the
is-
one moment where she sucked a dick.
No, I'm defining her at the point where she bit a dick off and then it flew through the air. They did a bunch of. We saw it way too many times, so that's why I call her Dick Lady. No slut shaming. You do your life, live your life how you want. I'm not going to judge it. I'm upset at her. I call her Dick Lady because she's also not really doesn't hold people in high regard. When she couples with somebody, she usually doesn't treat them well, and I don't like that about her. Have sex with whoever, how many times as you want,
Yeah.
But I just feel that
Unbirth
she
someone if
is
you
not a
want.
good person, and I was very happy that she turned to dust, and I thought she was done. I was very excited about that.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you for clarifying. I apologize. It does not seem like you're skimming the surface of the slut shame lake. Instead, you're kind of dipping your toe in and being like, "Ooh, this is a little cold for me."
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Metaphors, man.
She's not a good person.
I like the Laura Moon storyline here. I was sad that she just straight dusted at the beginning of the season. So to have her back in the game is good. I love she jumps into a classic Charlie and the Chocolate Factory elevator to fly off to
It reminded me of Crowded Subway. I was
Did
like,
you guys
oh,
read
man.
that second book, Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator with the Vermicious Canids? Messed me up as a kid.
I definitely read that. And Charlie goes to hell and realizes that he wasn't to blame for Grandpa Joe cheating on his grandma.
Yeah, I mean, there were 4 of them in the bed. Something had to be going on. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, that was anything goes in that multi-pairing
Like
quadruple.
Laura Moon always says, 4 in the bed, get in head.
What the?
You started this, Pete.
No way, man.
Yeah, it's weird for you to blame Pete for saying that.
So
Yeah,
I'm curious. Let's talk about just the general thrust of this afterlife, because I almost felt of two minds of it. I'm with you, Justin, that I like seeing Laura Moon again. I like seeing just generally divorced from absolutely anything, the plot line and what she went through, and I think the actress did a really good job with it. It was fun seeing the dad from Orphan Black as the AV guy. Always good to see him. I don't know who played the Usher. Probably wasn't Usher, but could be somebody like that. But
Usher gets a cut. Usher gets a cut whenever anyone plays an Usher.
it's true. Yeah. The thing that I was kind of two minds here, that I understand why they went for this choice, but having sort of like generic corporate travel zone, travel hub afterlife felt weird to me in the world of American Gods, where we have all this specificity. And the reason I think I understand why they made that choice is they kind of found this middle ground of this doesn't connect to Norse mythology or African mythology or Native American mythology or anything like that. But at the same time, I don't know, I would have wanted something a little different here, personally.
Well, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I think what they were going for, I agree with you. It did feel a little out of place for the show because it wasn't specific at all. But I also think this was specifically purgatory, so it wasn't sort of a full-on afterlife take. And they haven't done this particular thing, and it feels like sort of a new god version of, like, the old gods are still living in their world, but the logistics of God, religion, afterlife has to keep functioning, so that would update into new god stuff. The whole thing reminded me of hell from Preacher. So it was a little derivative in that way, which is what
I like the idea of, like, purgatory. You have to get on a shitty kind of subway car or like elevator and ride that to purgatory. I kind of really enjoyed that choice. But I just think that, like, I like how in the beginning she did say, like, oh, this is like defending your life or one of those things that we've seen before. So I'm glad they kind of called that out before we went on this, like, here's what you did and why you were here type of thing.
I liked a lot of the visuals in this sequence. I thought the pile of blackness or the oozing blackness or whatever it was that chased her down the hallway was very cool. Like we talked about, the elevator was very neat as well, going through this, very multicolored cosmos that we've seen a couple of times before in the show. And I also liked her stepping into the film. I thought that was a neat conceit. Cool. I think that worked really well.
What did you think of the Beetlejuice waiting room scenario with the different color coordination?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, in Beetlejuice, like, he had a number of tickets, and he stole a ticket, where in this, she had a different color, and she stole the color orange, so she could go next.
Yeah. Clear Beetlejuice call-out.
Yeah, it's a clear Beetlejuice thing.
That's right. She did say, I've seen the Black Plague 5 billion times, and it gets funnier every time I've seen it. I do remember that line. Yeah. So, again, a very clear Beetlejuice call-out.
Yeah.
Alex not getting the Beetlejuice ref and then coming hard with his own Beetlejuice ref. Did not see that coming. That's going to play really well when you go to the afterlife.
I think so. I'll just twist my tiny head around.
And maybe it'll be this moment where you'll step into your film and be like, it was actually my turn to make a Beetlejuice.
They'll be like, this is not important to whatever is going on here. Just accept reality, dude.
And the usher says, actually, Alex, this is the most important moment of your life. I like this story. I liked sort of the redemption of Laura. I mean, she's gone 2 seasons sort of wallowing in her bad choices, making more bad choices, finding love with Mad Sweeney, which I appreciate that, and that felt like her way out, or sort of a lifeline for her emotionally, but she wasn't resolving her issues. And maybe this season now we get to see a little bit of that, and this goes a long way into her starting to feel just less guilt for causing her father to cheat on her mother and ruining her family, and then it comes down to the fact that the guy was just a dick.
I also really like the immediate freeze on Shadow Moon. So we didn't get a repeat of the entire series. We knew what it was. We knew the emotional beat. We know what it means to Laura when she sees Shadow there. And we don't need to reiterate all of it. The fact that they skipped by that and instead focused on information that we didn't know about Laura, I thought was a very smart choice.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some other parts. I want to talk about Mr. Wednesday and Demeter. Pete, do you have any sort of like very derogatory terms you want to call Demeter or anything like that?
Whoa! No, I'm hoping that she is going to realize that Wednesday is bad and get away sooner rather than later, and not repeat the same mistakes that Moonshadow made. I have high hopes for her as a character.
Yeah. So you're saying you like to meet her?
Oh wow.
And that's why, and that's when you're watching the film of your life, that's when they drag you to hell.
Also, we should mention this is played by Blythe Danner, great actress.
Yes.
You know, we've talked a lot about them losing actors here on the show. It's nice to see that they can still draw people in who are names, who are very exciting. So it isn't like they're just sort of going downhill here. I think the show is still trucking along at a certain level. I know that sounds like faint praise, but it was good to see her, given all the losses that we've had this season.
Yeah, I agree. It's also interesting in the sort of the rotating cast. Like this season, we saw the replacement of Mr. World into Mrs. World, and then we haven't seen her. Miss World, yeah. Sorry, we haven't seen her since. So it definitely feels like we're just constantly shuffling through what is the sort of the structure of this season.
It also, I mean, on the same note, it does, and I was mildly confused by this with the beginning sequence. I thought we were getting Easter again, who was played by Kristen Chenoweth at the end of the first season. It seems like a clear replacement for her in the plot. It seems to hold sort of the same sort of thing, but I appreciate the fact that they didn't try to make it yet another recasting, but went in a different direction.
Well, and it's interesting. It feels like she fills the same hole, perhaps, in the plot, but Easter was very powerful. And Demeter is not.
Right.
It seems like. So it does feel like sort of a turn. And I don't know what Wednesday's, I mean, we could say this in any episode of this series, like, I don't know what Wednesday's plan is. But he is constantly just getting more and more things under his control to wait to snap his big trap, which we assume we're going to get this season. But we're not quite there yet.
That's a big assumption, I think, at this point.
It has to be.
Right?
They can't. Because, like, just on the business side, I got to imagine they don't expect another season. Maybe they'll get one. We don't know that. But I feel like they have to make some big moves here.
Yeah.
Especially given all the turmoil.
If they want to really do it right, they just streamline it and make it all about, Betty. And just get rid of the rest of the cast and really just focus on the heart of it.
Yeah, 42 minutes of car shots.
Basically,
come
what
on.
you want, maybe because you've been watching so much streaming, you haven't seen car commercials. I think that's something you would really get into. It's a lot of car.
Yeah,
a lot of
plot's
beauty
very
shots.
good.
Yeah. A lot of time the plot is like Matthew McConaughey is like trying to go fishing, and then it turns out that he does go fishing. Spoiler.
Well, there is that car commercial where he runs into a buffalo, and we have Moonshadow kind of, dodging a buffalo.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is there
store.
I'm sure I'm misinterpreting this. Is there a commercial where Matthew McConaughey runs over a buffalo with a car?
Not runs over. He stops in front of a buffalo and kind of talks to it.
If there's if they have an idea for a Matthew McConaughey commercial, it's in production currently or already made.
I was just thinking, what if I ran over that buffalo? That was a terrible Matthew McConaughey. I don't know what I was doing there. I'm sorry.
It was like a Southern lawyer, Matthew McConaughey, which I believe he's also played.
He was the Lincoln lawyer.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Back to Demeter for a second. The other thing that I thought was interesting about this is, despite being introduced as Mr. Wednesday's fiance, I'm not totally convinced this new woman is actually his fiance, right? Like, I don't feel like they've acted like that at any point.
No, and I think is that like a reference to being like a Valkyrie? Are they technically
Valkyrie?
Sword brides, something like that? So that to me, I feel like is a reference because I don't see any sort of sexual or sort of relationship like that.
She does have. She's wearing kind of like the pussy hat, right? Like with the two ears, so that's almost like a horned helmet, a little bit.
There you go.
The actress who is playing her is great. She's been in a ton of stuff. I was very excited to see her in this episode.
Yeah, she's good. I like their developing relationship, even though I don't quite understand what's going on there. I do think Valkyrie is probably a good guess in terms of what's happening. But I liked her getting him dressed. I like the fact that she doesn't take a lot of guff from him. It does feel like a different relationship between her and him versus Shadow Moon and him, and just in terms of her being the driver. It's also, and I know I mentioned this in previous episodes, but 3 seasons in, I feel like we've gotten to this weird, more hangout show place plot-wise, where Shadow Moon's like, "Hey, Wednesday, what's up? I just need to get some quick info." And he's like, "Oh, here's where Bilquis is. Talk to you later," which is something that never would have happened in a million years in season 1 or season 2. And I know they need to do that for the plot, but it's a strange thing to see on this show.
Well, and it is a little bit more like procedural, to your point. Like, yeah, Shadow has to call Wednesday just to keep the tie there, but it's also like, hey, yeah, I got to find this lady. I got to run over to see Bilquist here and this other back to New York. And, like, it's very, like, stuff needs to happen in this show now, when in the earlier seasons it felt like we were watching a ride. And now it's like, it's business time.
And also what sucks is we're at this place and there is a car on the ice, okay? And it is about to die and nobody gives a shit about it, and it's driving me fucking crazy.
Well, let's get over to that. Let's talk about Lakeside, because
everybody's favorite part is
It is my favorite part. I really think
I
these
can't wait
sections
to
are working.
finally deal with it.
Well, it's frustrating to me. The same thing is Shadow being like, this Lakeside place is weird. Well, time to go to Chicago. Last episode. This episode, he's like, Lakeside is weird. Oh, a refrigerated cabinet told me to go somewhere, so I'm going to head over there instead. Meanwhile, though, the stuff in Lakeside with the characters is very intriguing. The mystery of what's going on, where Allison went, I think we have a fair idea if you put together the very simple clues. But there's a lot of stuff going on there. From you got the cop character, you got Hinzelman, who's handing out these disposable cameras, which seems very suspicious.
That was
then
hysterical.
there's again the very pointed clue, and then I'll kick it over to you, Pete. But he gets these old newspapers and falls asleep looking at kid who was missing years and years ago. So we're starting to put the pieces together there very quickly. To get your business point, Justin, it does feel slightly like they have this solid mystery that now they need to string out for 10 episodes. They're just giving little bit by bit and then sending Shadow Moon on these side quests.
So I think, Alex, you might be confused because the blue mitten didn't belong to the missing girl. It was one of the kids who was looking for the missing girl. That was the clue,
Okay,
I think.
did he also leave his blood in the snow?
I don't remember that part. But the mitten did belong to not the girl, but the kid. So
I think the
your
blue
clue
mitten,
that's so obvious, I think you missed something.
I think the blue mitten is the girl.
Wow.
Wait, she's been turned into a blue mitten?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that Hans Christian Andersen story, The Blue Mitten?
Yeah. I like that you call him Hans Christian Andersen. He's all hands.
He was known for being handsy.
Very
Oh, my
handsy.
God.
Hey, they
Don't
just
put
shortened
that
it
out there.
for
You don't know if
once he
that's
became
true.
popular. They were like, we can't call you Hansy Christian Andersen, so we're gonna go with Hans.
Hans. Wait, is it? I always get this wrong. Han Solo? Han Solo?
I say Han Solo.
Han Solo. Yeah.
Han Solo.
I feel like Han is what the podunk people who watch Star Wars on the side of a barn say.
Hey. Don't make fun of people who watch movies on the side of the barn.
I mean, I swear, those are my people.
I was going to say.
I'd love to watch something on the side of a barn. That sounds fun.
It is. It's a lot like the movie theater, but outside and light mooing.
I like how George Lucas put all those reds in there.
I do want to speak to something that Zelvin brought up that is kind of frustrating about this series is Shadow Moon is still being manipulated, and it seemed like he had gotten to a better place with it, but now he's just still kind of wandering around, and I want him to be like, fuck off Wednesday, I'm going to have my own adventure, or decide to be on Wednesday's team, because the back and the forth, and the maybe he'll be there, maybe not, and because he had that kind of thing with the Native American god early on, that he is an important part. It's kind of driving me crazy a little bit.
Well, I think, the point of that, I mean, last season he was like, all right, I'm Wednesday's guy. I'm going to go, I'm going to commit to this. I have powers. I'm going to explore this. And then he sort of got screwed over again. So now he's like, I need to keep my distance. I'm going to go my own way. But Wednesday has predicted all of this. So he's just constantly manipulating Shadow from close up and afar. And at this point in the season, Wednesday he's got Shadow where he wants him in Lakeside. And so he has to manipulate all the rest of the chess pieces to get them where he needs them to be by what I'm assuming is the end of the season. To your point, Alex, though, it feels like Lakeside is the season-long mystery, but the series-long mystery is vast. Like, we got all these other, like, smaller gods that need to carry out their storylines, Bilquis, and there's just the ongoing battle between the new gods and the old gods, and they have to split it up. I don't think they could. If they saved Lakeside for the second half of the season and just told it all at once, I think that would be too much. And I'm the same way on the opposite side. If they just spread Lakeside out more or whatever, like I think they have to sort of be able to jump back and forth in the way they're doing. Because I don't mind it. I like it.
And that's a hot take from a line producer who knows television, knows exactly how things work behind the scenes.
Not a line producer, and you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, that's true.
I will say two of the things that I think are most intriguing to me in these first couple of episodes are the idea, like we talked about in the last two episodes, about them widening out the world to involve Native American gods, the gods who were there before these old gods actually came over on boats. And then that in this episode we seem to be teasing a little bit Shadow Moon getting involved in African gods. We've certainly seen that with Mr. Nancy, who is sadly gone this season, and others. But that certainly seems to be part of his heritage based on Ricky Whittle. So I think that's something that you can really delve into further. And I'd be interested to see how all of these elements get together. If they can legitimately widen out the series so it's not just this one-on-one battle of the old god versus the new gods, but all these other gods being like, no, we have our own things going on. These other things are happening. That is exciting and intriguing to me and really widens out the world. Just to mention one more thing, I think it also gets back to, was it season 1 where they introduced Jesus? I think I can't honestly remember.
Yeah.
But just the idea that like everybody
stuff.
has their own views of Jesus, I always thought was a really fascinating one. And the more they can get back to like religion and what it means for people and how it affects people versus this Game of Thrones style manipulation that's kind of going on, I think the better for the length of the series.
Well, but I also think this series is tough because it's just it can expand into infinity. Like religion and belief is such a huge topic, and the fact that they are constantly expanding it out to the next layer of belief, like it's hard to contain the idea of everyone has a different Jesus that's just hanging around in different regions of the country, while at the same time this like very specific Norse mythology plot is playing out at the same time this new gods versus old gods versus now the even older gods. Like, it's just wild. And so I think while covering all of those topics, I think the story needs to really start to pare down and get to the crux of it. And that's what I hope is going to happen in Lakeside.
Now, when we last kind of see Moonshadow, he kind of busts in the room where we know Bilquis was, and we see kind of like the tech guy trying to kind of formulate words and piece himself back together.
That's what I've been working on for the other side.
My first thought was Shadow Moon, quick, kill this guy, because it seemed like maybe he has killed Bilquis. What was your guys' thought?
Okay. Okay, too tired. I want to go to bed. Thank you very much for watching my stream. If anyone's actually watching, I'll hope to hear you guys from another one. Alright, take care.